Well, blessed morning, friends, folks. Today is Tuesday, August 16, 2022. With no further ado, let's dive into this. This is called Those Who Hunger and Thirst. We have a quote from Robert Murray M'Cheyne. It is a sure mark of grace to desire more. It is a sure mark of grace to desire more. And we have Psalm 42, 1 through 2. As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, O God. My soul thirsty for God, for the living God. Where can I go and meet with God? Prayer. Simple prayer early in the morning. I woke up at 6 and I moved my futon and moved it. The things are already down, and got on my knees and I prayed. I'm kind of old, so sometimes I will still go all the way down, my hands and knees, but usually I'll get on my knees and I'll put my hands on my futon and I pray to the Most High for everything. Thank Him. And I look for your request to pray for as well. And then that's how I communicate with Him. And it's excellent because there's nothing on. No YouTube, no TV, nothing. That's how I commune with Him. When Jesus told His disciples that those who hunger and thirst for righteousness are blessed and will be filled, was He reminding them of His psalm? Perhaps. Or maybe He was reminding them of Isaiah's prophecy. Come, all you who are thirsty, come to my water. Come to the waters, and you who have no money, come, buy and eat. Those who are poor in spirit, those who mourn, and those who are meek will find in themselves a holy hunger gnawing at their souls. Jesus was no stranger to Old Testament imagery. His spirit had inspired it, and his humanity had been educated in it. When he announced the Beatitudes, he had recently reminded the enemy that man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. And of course, the Bible is referred to as the bread of life. Deuteronomy 8:3, Matthew 4:4. Later, he would announce himself as the bread of life and the source of living water. It was true that all who hungered and thirsted would be filled, and it still is. We can be filled with Him. We tend to think of discontentment as an ungodly character trait, but there is a godly side to it. The discontent soul knows that something is wrong deep down inside. It knows that hole that Augustine, Pascal, and many others have referred to, the God-shaped vacuum in every human heart. And no matter how much it tries to fill that hole with pleasure, work, people, or things, the vacuum remains. It was carved out for God, and only God can make it whole. Do you hunger and thirst? Do not make the mistake of trying to satisfy your cravings with worthless things. Only God can effectively occupy your heart. Commune with Him there. Ask Jesus to bless you with His presence today. And it is true He makes your heart whole. There's the hole with W-H-O-L-E, and then there's hole, H-O-L-E. I had a hole in my heart when Babe crossed. I always put it upside down. When Annie crossed, there was a hole in my heart. But I praise God for taking her, and I thank Him for taking her. And not because I have some weird masochistic spirit or anything like that. She didn't have to suffer no more. There was no more sickness. There was no more going to hospitals most of all of last year. Annie was a fighter all the way to the end. And the joy that I have is I know where she went. And she hungered and she thirsted for the Lord. She went against the currents of His living waters. And she did that for so long. And then those of y'all that saw her testimony, y'all saw one part. There's 3, but she said she went out in the world. She thought that life was just fine without church, and life was fine without the Lord. It's been a long time since she had been to church, and the Lord struck her when we had that healing service for her. And she cried, and she gave everyone her heart. But the most important one she gave her heart to was back to the Lord, because she was hungry and thirsty for far too long with a parched spirit, so to speak, that hungered and returned to where she started with her mom and dad in the first place. So I know where she went, and that's what gives me joy. I still cry for her, of course, but because she's not here no more and I know where she went, I hunger and I thirst even more so for the Lord. My language is straightening, the way that I'm acting. My mad wick is longer, and when things don't go my way, I'm trying my best for the Lord's beatitude to swallow my attitude by this hunger and thirst. So there you go. Be blessed by His bread of life today.